The reality of the real world on Earth. First, I'm just going to show the photos by just saying the numbers, and then we're going to talk about a bit about them. I just want to show them first of all, so I can take it all in, so it's not too much for you. This is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Do you understand what I've shown you? And of course, this is just a tiny piece of portion of information. Now, we can say giant trees, you can say silicon trees, you can say crystal trees. I don't care. Everything is written in the ancient texts. Now, remember when we studied in secondary school, in high school, in science class and stuff, we've seen the plants. When you cut a plant and a tree, and from a bird eye view, you see the surface, which is these type of shapes, sometimes hexagonal, and that's the typical plant life. Once you do the cut, and it's so typical for plant life and tree life. Now, this place here is the Uyuni salt flats in Bolivia in South America. Huge place, very flat. Do you understand? Do you even dare to try to understand how amazing this is, the reality of the real world? Now, how about these places, when you see these fibers, they look like fibers of a tree going down into the earth like this. And in the case of Devil Tower, there's a root system. It's a root system of roots underneath it that goes 4 miles deep. Now, besides all that, do you understand the mesas? These mountains, even like when you see how they go inside the ground, it's just like a tree stump, and the surface is flat. It's called mesa. Mesa means table in English because it's flat like a table. They've been cut. Look at this. Tree stump from a different perspective. Venezuela, as many other places in the world, has these huge tree stumps called mesa. Actually, buta as well, they call them. This one, look at even the surface of it, and then the sides, and this is like a portion of a rock near the coast of an island or the coast. The earth is full of these. These are just like a tiny bit of portion I can show you. Look at this, a comparison between a typical tree stump and what we have in Sao Tome, and it's very impressive, right? What was this world before? Before when? Because we don't know the timeline of this. Although there is, in the book of Enoch and also in other books, and even in ancient Hebrew and ancient Sanskrit and many other texts, they speak about this. Tunisia. It's the photo is there for comparison purposes between a tree stump and the mountain. South Africa. You don't even have to analyze it too much. You just see it, and something clicks inside your brain. Venezuela clicks in your brain and say, "Oh my gosh, OMG, oh my God," right? How Americans say, and people say. What you should try to do. These. Look at this. Even like the way that the sides, they go down in a diagonal way inside the ground. I mean, come on, and you see this over and over again in the world. You have to take a person. Those people who you speak with, perhaps I don't speak with anybody, but I'm sure many of you have families and friends and workers and colleagues and neighbors and stuff, and you speak, you're social, right? And just tell them, "Hey, can you give me 5 minutes of your time?" Just 5 minutes. And then you show them these photos. You can even mute the video so you don't have to listen to my boring voice. and you show them this, and you say, hey, let me show you something. You can even like pause the video when you want, and then just let them process, or at least try to process using the intellectual properties of our brain as humans, and then tell them, hey, can you just process this for a bit? Look at the photos. And of course, if you just show them one picture, they would say, oh, it's coincidence. No, just keep on showing them. And when I'm gonna have time in the future, maybe I'll make videos of like half an hour long, like 45 minutes long, or even like 1 hour long if I can speak that long, my throat and my voice. Do you see how the mountain, we call it the mountain, right? How the mountain goes down when it goes inside the earth in a diagonal manner, just like tree stumps in the forests. Or like, the tips of like some of, because like many of these places were like flooded by water, by seawater, by salt water. So that's why you have some like really interesting places where you have like the tree stump on the edges of on the corner or the edges of the coast. Canada, these are impressive as well. They have like 2 tree stumps connected. Venezuela, again, impressive, isn't it? Some of these plant life, they would go like at a distance or height of lots of kilometers in the sky. Look at these. Look at how amazing this is. And the cut is very low at the base level, tree stump base level. Imagine like, and we still, I mean, it does speak about the so-called fallen ones who, and then they say, oh, poor earth, you're gonna suffer now, and what's gonna happen to you. It's written down in the ancient texts because of the fallen ones. So, has this happened, or did this happen when the fallen ones were released in this area, what we call Earth? Look at this. Now you even see deserts and rocks and mountains in a different way. Like these places in the middle of nowhere where nothing grows. It's just sand and rock. It's pure obliteration, right? And now you understand why. Or if you exploit from a mining perspective and you leave just the what's left, nothing is gonna ever grow anymore. Look at this place. How can you possibly see this and not say, wait a minute? This is not the product of lava, of volcanic lava. Definitely not, because we've seen the result of volcanic lava. Or you see this in the middle of nowhere, and you just go, oh, it's just a miracle of nature. Yeah, sure, it's a miracle of nature because it's a giant tree, a tree stump. But you say, oh, it's just a miracle of nature because the earth, after millions of years, that's how water and wind decided to leave that stone, that huge rock, right? The tree, the rings. When you speak with people, you speak about trees, everybody goes like, oh yeah, the rings of the tree, and it's common knowledge. Look at that. Look at that huge piece of rock. Not even rock, a mountain, flat. Look at the concentrical rings. It is truly fascinating in many ways, at the same level or even beyond. The fact, like I said, when you open the door, the first door is to realize that the earth is not a spinning ball with curved water, and then this thing here but I'm trying to give the message, and I'm going to show you more. This is like one of the major, absolutely astonishing and like super ultra mega impressive things. And some people still can't see it, I guess. For a big majority of the human population, it's too much of a cognitive dissonance. Like when I first saw these things, I was like, wow. First it was like the shock, then it was like the revelation, and then I said, oh, I'm so happy to know this, and it's so awesome and amazing. I want to share it with people, right? That's what comes to your brain. You want to share it. But I think some people, they just get scared. They get so scared and so frightened that they just can't accept such a basic, simple reality, right? So I hope you understood what I was trying to show, and just remember next time when you look at these things, you see them with a different eye, a different mindset. See you in the next video.